Hello, welcome back to the Unshakable Soul podcast. My name is Sophia Mansikat and I am your host here. Today we are on episode 71 and I am here to share a transmission about the energetics that we are playing with right now and how to really navigate through these times. And what we're going through right now is a potent time to actually break free. We're coming out of Scorpio season. It's now November 22nd and we're entering Sagittarius season. So there's this element of renewed optimism and hope that we get to ride energetically. But if we didn't close the chapter fully, and we're going to feel this until almost the end of this year, where there's still things closing, there's still a shedding going on. But if we're not willing to really close that chapter from our lives, then we will not be able to open up to all the opportunities we have right now that are accessible to receive that which we truly desire. So the thematic really is going to be how to break free. How to break free from all the ways that I've been unconsciously or subconsciously or consciously limiting myself from the abundance, the love, the connection I desire and I deserve. Okay? So we're going to start this conversation by looking at the myths that we've been fed collectively and the reasons why we could feel this stagnancy, feeling stuck, feeling in the middle of two worlds, trying to hold different threads, feeling confused. And then I'm going to look at, well, how is that actually manifesting in your life, in your body, in your mind, in your relationships? And then we're going to go into the truth. Okay, we're going to go into the truth. And this part of this reclamation, the feminine reclamation and remembrance of your power. So that when we're opening this new door and we're saying yes to life, what am I saying yes to? What is it, the energy and the experience that I am calling in? So we're going to leave this conversation with more clarity, with a deeper sense of trust and certainty in that everything that is unfolding in my life right now is perfect. It's perfect because it's bringing me to a place of culmination, of completion, where I can safely and wholeheartedly say thank you and goodbye to what is closing. And step into the next chapter, to this next cycle, with renewed sense of wholeness and trust and joy and curiosity. Okay? And then I like to end with embodied practices and tangible ways that we can work with this energy. So it's not only concepts that stay in your mind and perhaps add on a lot of mental load, that you can take these concepts and actually apply them. Whatever resonates for you. It's not about doing it all. It's about choosing what resonates the most for you and that meets you exactly where you're at right now. Okay? And as I speak this transmission to you, I'd offer this active listening. So I know for some of you, it's maybe, I want to write things down. And I know I'm that type of person too. But I've learned over the years that receiving information that's verbally being transmitted actually is creating an activation in my body, in my cells, in my DNA. That's a remembrance. That's bringing about an activation without me doing anything. And I trust that the medicine I'm meant to receive is already finding its way through my vessel, through my body. That I don't need to frantically write everything for fear of losing that information or losing that insight. Okay? By all means, if there's a word that's really resonating, write it down. But I invite you to really feel into the words I'm sharing. And of course, whatever doesn't resonate, you chuck it away. Okay? All right, let's dive in. And at the end, I'm going to be offering a deeper dive on a way that you can go deeper into the wisdom of the teachings I'm going to be sharing into feminine reclamation and really be supporting community. I've been brewing something for almost 6, 7, 8 months, and it's very soon going to be shared and open for everybody to join. So stay until the end to learn more about that. Breaking free. What are the myths that are holding me back from truly being in this state of wholeness, peace, joy, pleasure, whatever that you desire to experience, to fulfill my soul's purpose here on earth? I know a lot of us are in this phase right now. It's like there's a deeper churning, there's a deeper calling. Like the superficiality is like done. We're done with that. And that's the energy of the collective right now. Okay, we're in this phase where it's like there's a collective shedding happening. That was year 9 right now that we're in. And we're heading into year 1 in 2026, which is new beginnings. It's initiation, it's leadership, it's action. But before we take action forward, we have planets in retrograde right now. Jupiter's in retrograde. Mercury is in halfway-ish retrograde. Saturn, Neptune, we're all in this kind of like, whoa, Saturn, Neptune, 2 planets at a right degree of Pisces. We're kind of dissolving all the structures. We're dissolving the illusions, the fantasies, and we're really building a new foundation on which we can flourish and actually feel fulfilled in this lifetime. Okay? So, the myths that we've been fed, I'm specifically speaking to women, but you can feel, if you're a man listening to this, the other beliefs that you've been fed. And some of them are common. Okay, so for example, being too feminine is dangerous. It's provocative. Don't be a slut. Don't dress that way. You're going to attract too much attention. Okay? The other myth that hits deep and hard, just sit down and look pretty. So that the woman is just a pretty object. We've been fed that unconsciously or consciously from the collective, from, we can say, the patriarchy. But again, we're not blaming men here. Okay? This is the path of reclamation, which is the path of self-responsibility. Okay? I get to choose my own story right now that I'm building on, not a past story that I've been fed. So for a lot of women, we've been celebrated and shamed for our looks, for our beauty, for our body. Okay? We never felt good enough or desirable enough until we had the perfect body, the perfect lips, the perfect ass, the perfect cooking, whatever it is that we've been fed. Okay? And also, this caretaking wound that we hold, that our value is tied to how self-sacrificing we are and how much we give to others. There's nothing wrong with giving when it's from a place of wholeness. But it's when we're giving from depletion, that's when we get exhausted. That's when we get into burnout. That's when we get resentful. So I've basically summarized the fear of being seen, the fear of being abandoned, and perhaps the fear of being rejected. If I show too much of this part of myself, I will lose connection, I will lose love. There's also the fear of not being good enough. Okay, so this is the woman that's, independent, she's driven, she's one of those alpha type career women, and she's associating her work with how much she does. Trying to hold it all together. And you don't only need to be that career woman, it's also speaking to all the women out there that are trying to hold a family together, hold the career together, trying to semi-hold themselves together, and finding out it's not working so well. right? Trying to be in these voluntary community spaces because that's the good thing to do and I should be doing this. We're done with the shoulds. And you feel it. And perhaps you felt that for the whole year. Because that's what this year is for. It's the great shed. We are releasing certain identities that do not serve our greatest expansion and what's really wanting to come online and what's really rising up in us. And what's the consequence of believing these myths? Okay, these beliefs, this conditioning, again, that we've unconsciously or subconsciously been living by. The consequence, you perhaps feel it right now in your life, and I know I have. Self-neglect and abandonment. My needs don't matter. I come last. Everybody else before myself. That breeds resentment in a lot of the cases. That breeds a whole slew of physical ailments. Tension in my body, restriction in my throat. I can't speak my truth. I can't say what I need. I can't speak my boundaries because I'm afraid of losing this person, this connection, this image of who I am. Because I think that this image is going to give me approval, applauses, whatever it is. We dim our lights. We start walking on eggshells. We also can feel confused and overwhelmed because a lot of us women are very highly sensitive people. And our energy, since we've been taught to always be giving to others and hold everybody else to the detriment sometimes of our own self, we become very attuned to everybody else's energies. So I get confused. What is mine? What is yours? I don't have a cleansing practice. I don't have discernment. I don't have boundaries. And this is what we learn in the path of feminine reclamation. Okay? I'm confused. I'm thinking that my emotions right now, my sadness is who I am, my anger is who I am, and that I'm a bad person for feeling that. There's a lot of shame and guilt and fear that keeps us down. And unconsciously, we're feeding into that. We're feeding into the belief system that tells us, yeah, you should stay there. Don't be too loud. Don't be too loud. Don't shine too much. Don't cry too much. Shh. Go out for a drink with your friends. Maybe even go on a trip. I know I've done that, escaping through external travel. And what I realize is that every external travel I do, my cloud of shame, of fear of intimacy and insecurities is going to follow me anywhere. So actually, the real journey is within. And the question is, am I willing to go within to my depths, to feel my pain, to face all the ways that I've been actually self-abandoning and distracting myself and numbing myself from actually feeling my truth, for acknowledging my pain, for acknowledging and honoring my needs, for gaining clarity on what I actually need, and for being honest with what doesn't feel right in this relationship, in this place I'm in, this environment. That is the crunchy work that some of us are like, yes, I'm ready to do this. And some of us are like, I don't want to open Pandora's box. I don't want to shake the boat. Things are good as they are. Love, I bless your soul. If that is what you are called to, stay with the status quo as it is, go for it. Feel for you again. Like, maybe you're not in a period that's like asking for any change right now. And you're good and you're finding this grounding in where you're at. And that's maybe the medicine that you need, because maybe you're used to changing all the time. Right? I know I'm like that. Like, I'm like, no, transformation. I have a lot of Scorpion energy in me, so it's like death, death. But I realized that I was actually pulling myself out of places that were if I allowed myself to root deeper in and to find this place of stillness and of safety within an uncomfortable, perhaps, sphere, not necessarily outside of me, but within me, that I can actually access a deeper love and belonging that I've been craving for outside of me. That's what shifted everything. So again, this is just about first gaining the awareness with curious, compassionate love of the places within you that perhaps have been compromising your truth in order to avoid conflict, please others, but to the detriment of who? Your soul's expansion? Right now we're entering into Sagittarius season. Sagittarius is widening your horizon. We went through depths and Scorpio energy of, let me go to the weeds, look underneath the water. Everything that lies beneath the surface, tip of the iceberg is just a little thing we see. There's so much beneath. What is beneath? What is limiting you? What is no longer serving you? Let's transmute that shit. Transmute your pain into power. What does that mean? Anything that is not love is transmuted and alchemized into your heart. And what does that mean on an even more tangible level? Do I accept my depths? Do I accept the woman that I am in my fullness, in my rage, in my longings, in my desires? That is the work. Okay? Because or else we will be seeking validation and approval from everything else. We'll be seeking answers also from everything else. And it can be people like me or like other teachers or spiritual guides or mentors or whatever, thinking with the illusion that they have what I need because they look very well put together. They know their shit. Do you realize how much shit I had to go to and through to be able to speak to you right now? A lot. And I'm not saying that to boost my ego. I'm saying that perhaps for all the entrepreneurs and everybody out there, for a lot of them, some of them are not embodied. Some of them are only speaking. But to truly be able to rise and offer your gifts to the world, we have to be willing to face the parts of us that don't believe we deserve that what we seek. You don't deserve the recognition, the love, the joy, the abundance, the freedom. The truth is you're already free. You're already a joyful, beautiful being. It's about revealing your light and realizing the ways that we actually have been cloaking ourselves, playing the victim, playing the savior, distracting ourselves. Maybe you're the perfectionist. It has to be perfect. I have to have all my ducks in a row before I make any move. But it's all just leading back to a lack of trust and a fear of the unknown. What will happen if I choose to speak my truth? If I choose to actually move in a way that feels good, that feels aligned? What will happen if I choose to say no to this? So we need to learn how to honor that sacred no, the boundary. to notice where I'm leaking energy, and arguably even more importantly, leaning into my yes. Okay, the full body yes. So maybe for you it's easier to say the no and a bit harder to say yes to what's actually authentically calling you forward. Maybe it's reverse. Maybe it's easier to say yes, 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 and harder to say, well, actually, no, this doesn't feel good. I'm drawing a boundary here. So feel for you. Maybe it's a bit of both. Okay. So what's waiting for you on the other side of, let's say, shadow work and what we're going through on this threshold right now, releasing the shadows of Scorpio, releasing ourselves from the guk, right? All the ways, we're kind of in this cleansing phase right now. All the ways we've been feeding ourselves a lie. The way through is in. But it doesn't end there. And this I had to learn. As a person that really loves the shadows and loves to go deep, it begins when I allow myself to come out into the light. When I allow myself to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. My presence is healing. My voice matters. My desires deserve to be met. And it's not about demanding respect or demanding that you meet me this way. It's about seeing all the ways again that I have actually not been meeting my desires and needs myself. And it doesn't mean you're going to stay alone the rest of your life. No, it's about moving in life from a place of wholeness instead of from a place of lack. Can I meet myself with love and wholeness? And can I be like fierceful also in the way where I need to be a little bit more disciplined? Because it's not all about, oh, I'm going to be soft and kind. You know, it's okay. Like, you don't need to do this. Only you know if you're distracting yourself and giving yourself excuses. So for some of us, it's going to require more gentleness and softness. I know that's been my path because I'm a very disciplined and rigid person naturally that likes to stick to her routines fixed. So I've had to learn more of what does it feel like to move in a way that's softer, that's more gentle, at a slower pace. I know for a lot of women listening here, it's like, oh, because we're so wired to be go, go, go. Especially if we want to hold everything together and we want to do everything. You can do everything. You can be everything you want to be. But you have to learn to allow yourself to move in a rhythm and at a pace that honors your expansion. That it honors your body, that honors your nervous system. We need to prepare our vessel, our body, to receive and to give the light that is meant to move through you and out of you. And share that with the world. But if the light comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, illumination, expansion, but your body's not ready for it, short circuit, and we fry. So that's why your daily devotional practice, whatever it is, your breath work, your meditation, your simple prayer as you open up your day, your yoga, your walk in nature, whatever it is, the presence that you offer yourself when you're eating your food, the mindfulness, the ways that you ground yourself. Because we're moving right now through a time that's actually going to be accelerating and awakening you in ways that could feel overwhelming if we're not prepared. So a lot of the work is, how can I create safety and build a solid foundation? Your foundation is you. Your foundation is your body, your vessel. Your foundation is your mindset, your belief system. Okay, your foundation is the openness in your heart. Are you guarded? Are you constricted? Do you trust people? Are you open to connecting intimately with yourself, with nature, with the world, with others? And of course, your boundaries are there because you're discerning, okay, no, this person drains me. This environment drains me. And ultimately, we're aligning all of these centers. We're aligning ourselves so that we actually become a channel for life to be created and revealed through us, so that we can offer our gift to the world. That's how we heal ourselves, our family, our community, and nation, the world. I'm going to pause there and just allow yourself to breathe. You can tap on your heart a little bit. I like to do that when I feel my energy kind of moving a lot, just coming back to your body, coming back to your breath, maybe planting your feet down if you're doing anything else, like maybe cooking. Just allow yourself to pause and to feel this transmission land. And here's the truth. Your power is in your depth. It's in your raw, juicy aliveness. It's in this creative life force energy that's always circulating through you. And it's about allowing it to come more and more online and tapping into it when the timing is right. And how do you know the timing is right? When you're honoring your body's rhythms, when you're honoring the cycles of nature, when you're connecting and attuning to the moon as she connects and attunes to your own moods and emotions and energy. And you allow yourself to move in this cyclical way so that you don't burn out, so that your growth and expansion is sustainable, so that you build a strong vessel through which your creative force can flow through you and touch the people that are meant to be touched by you. The power is in your heart, in your warmth, in your love, in your kindness, in your intimate connection with yourself, with others, with the animals, with nature, with life. That connection starts from yourself, from how connected are you in here. Your powers in your vision, your ability to see beyond the veil, to see where humanity is going, to see a world filled with peace and harmony. Your powers in your voice, in how you speak your truth, and how you share yourself authentically to the world. And freedom comes. We all want to be free, ultimately. Freedom comes in the remembering that you have a choice and you have a voice. I can choose to stay in victimhood. I can choose to stay in the savior archetype. I can also choose to be the co-creator and co-creatress of my life. To trust life. To trust everything that is happening in my life is for my greatest expansion and evolution. It's helping me see a part of me that perhaps still feels shame, still feels fear, still feels guilt, is still holding back. And also the parts of me that are ready to come online, that are ready to expand, to receive more joy and to give more joy, more pleasure. to live in more ease. And I want to offer us the missing pieces here. The break free. Breakthrough to break free. I summarize them in these 4 words. Presence. Feeling. Rewiring. And implementing. Presence. Creating safety. In yourself. Around yourself. To feel and face your pain with loving awareness, presence, no more distraction, feeling, allowing your emotions to flow, living, giving them a voice, feeling into the truth beneath the noise. We need to emotionally allow them to move, allow the waves to crash on the shore in a healthy way. Dancing, shaking, punching pillows, wailing at the moon. Number 3, rewiring, reprogramming our subconscious, looking at that story that's been running my life, looking at the belief system. Is it still supporting me? Is it still serving me? What do I believe is possible for me to experience in this lifetime? Do I feel I deserve it? Am I worthy of this? And then implementing. This is when you press action and you begin to move in a way that honors your body and your cyclical wisdom. When you start setting boundaries, when you start saying yes to what truly fulfills you and creating more space for that in your life. Presence, being present with yourself, feeling, allowing yourself to feel, rewiring your mental realm, the beliefs, the weeds, and then implementing into action, into choosing how I wish to respond now. Now that I have the awareness, now that I've felt all my emotions, I've cleared, and I'm clear now in my mind, in my heart, in my womb, what is true. I've felt it, I've heard it, I've witnessed myself. And I'm ready to respond differently from a place of wholeness and love. So again, just breathe here. Offer yourself this moment. Feeling wherever you're at, taking a pause. If you're driving, do not close your eyes. If you're in a safe space, close your eyes. Place a hand on your womb, hand on your heart, and just offer yourself this moment of presence and just noticing what is alive within you. Where is energy moving? Where is energy stuck? Can I breathe just a bit deeper? Can I get curious on what that part of me may want to be telling me? Can I listen with love? And the key here is to remember that you are already whole. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. There's nothing to be fixed. It's simply a revelation of what is already here. It's like the clam opening its shell and revealing the pearl. But we've been resisting. We've been resisting the opening. And our job is to release. It is not true. It is not us. Release the lies. Let them go. Close the chapter. Clean cut with the relationship, with that belief, with that place, with that situation, that experience that caused you perhaps a lot of suffering and pain. And it's acknowledging that and thanking that person and that place, that situation, because they have brought you to this moment of realization that that person, that place was perfect for your soul's evolution. And it taught you something. To stand in your truth, to voice your needs, to honor your boundaries, to realize that you are whole just as you are. So offering you a little smile here, a gentle rub maybe on your heart. An audible exhale. I always find that helps with the release and the softening. So I want to leave you here with these 3 simple embodied practices that have greatly supported my own journey and are greatly supporting the women that are in my space. Activate. I know a lot of teachings out there is like parasympathetic nervous system, rest and stuff. But if your nervous system has been on fight, flight, or freeze for the past 10, 20, 30 years, it's going to be very hard to sit in meditation and just affirm my way through whatever I'm feeling. So I've noticed that for a lot of us, there is an activation, a healthy sympathetic nervous system activation that we need to go through to stir up all of our emotions. Because for a lot of us, we've been taught not to feel. Numb your feeling, distract your feeling. All is good, all is well. So feel your truth. That's number 1. Activate. Move the stagnant energy. Express what has been repressed in a safe environment. Punch the pillows. Scream into your hands. Dance. Wail. Roar. Your primal energy is going to come through. Witness yourself. I love to add in mirror work here. If you can look at yourself in your primal nature, it's so fucking liberating. And be with yourself when you don't want to. Hold yourself and say, it's okay. It's okay to be here. It's okay to be raw and honest and real. And this has nothing to do with showing that to anybody else. This is your own personal practice. That is the key to liberation. It starts with you. Your energy shifts when you come out of that activation. Number 2 is listening. Listen to your truth. Because after that activation, you're inevitably going to come to that still point. That point that holds the wisdom. That point that cracks your heart open. Can you open yourself to that point? Can you listen to that part of you that needs something? That desires something? That's maybe the little girl in you that's like, oh my gosh, can I just play? Can you just listen to me? And we listen to that part. And it's okay. It's normal to have tears come out. It's okay to still be in this state of like, oh my gosh, like this is the cracking open. This is the deep exhale and the point where you come into your heart when you're like, and I feel this connection, this deep, deep connection to my truth. But the tears come as a way of actually cleansing all that we have not been willing to face, and all the ways actually that we've been abandoning ourselves. Because it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with the way that we've allowed ourselves to be treated. That we've swallowed the pill of, you're only a desirable object. You're only good if you're sacrificing yourself and helping everybody else. Your worth is tied to your output. Example, example, example. Okay, so there's the activation. Then there's the coming into the deep listening, when we've cleared the noise, we've cleared the emotions, we've cleared the gunk, we've felt everything that's been repressed. We come into presence, into deep listening and stillness. We come to this moment of clarity. We're down in our chambers, in our depths, and we have the light of consciousness. We're like, ah, and this is love, and this is wholeness. And this is actually what it feels like to be connected. And then the third key is embody. Become your truth. Move from a place of wisdom and wholeness. This is when you respond differently. Your energy is ultimately shifted. Because you're no longer stuck in the shame, guilt, and fear cycle. You've risen to the heart. You've entered the space, you're like, holy shit. You've forgiven yourself for maybe having no boundaries or having way too many walls around yourself, around your heart. But you have to feel that nectar for yourself. You have to feel the love for yourself. You have to feel everything beneath the shame, the fear, the guilt. Transmute that into your heart. And that's what I guide women on this powerful journey. And it's not for everybody. It's for the people that are willing to face themselves with honesty and that are ready to stop lying to themselves. To stop perpetuating a lie, a falsity, a mask. Stop holding on and clinging on to this identity they've been so attached to. So if you're here and you're listening this still, after 43 minutes, a deep bow of reverence, you're one of the souls that are ready to go deep probably. And if you're listening to this, I'd love to invite you to check out my new offering that's coming very, very soon for 2026 called Rhythms of Remembrance. And this is really going to be a full 9-month birthing journey of the woman you are becoming and honoring your unique gifts and giving them a voice. This has less to do with adding more information in a world that already has an overwhelm of information. It's really about being guided, being mentored and held in a safe space, in a community with other like-minded women that are also on their own unique path of awakening, of reclamation, of remembering, walking each other home. You're going to have gentle accountability. You're going to have a space to express your truth, to share your unique expression, your authenticity, and to feel empowered and inspired through sharing your own story and through listening to other people's story to rise, to meet the light, meet yourself in your own light. This is the thematic for 2026. This is what we're collectively, energetically going towards, this universal year number 1. 1 is action, 1 is initiation, 1 is aligning and saying yes and moving in a direction that feels good, that fuels me, that brings me joy, brings me pleasure. It's having the courage to walk through the flame and fully claim your crown. Not in an arrogant, selfish way. This is a new paradigm of feminine leadership that we are co-creating. It's a power with. Because when I rise to meet myself in my brilliance, in my magnificence, I am inevitably allowing other women to rise too. And to meet themselves in their own unique brilliance. Okay. So if you're interested, I'll share the link in the description of this episode where you'll find a simple landing page. It's not the full one, but there's enough information for you to get a sneak peek of what this journey will look like. And at the end, you'll see you can click and have a clarity call with me when we can actually discuss, well, what are you currently moving through? And what are your needs right now? To see if this program would actually be a good fit for you and a good support as you move through this next phase, this next chapter. Okay. All right. I'm complete on my end and just want to again thank everybody that showed up for listening and for your presence, for sharing this episode to anybody else that you feel would resonate from this transmission. And I'll see you on the next episode. I'm doing them weekly, so make sure you subscribe to make sure you're not missing out on any of these episodes that have come through. All right, loves, take care. Wishing you all the best, and I'll see you very shortly.